I had my mic on mute, so you're not crazy. Um, Thanks so much for joining. My name is Krisell Valenzuela, and thank you for joining me for community readings for collective healing. Today, we are going to get into some mediumship readings. So, while we give people some time to join, go ahead and drop me your name and where you are joining from in the comments. If you are new to my community readings for collective healing live stream, what can I tell you about this live stream? I really started these live streams as a way for me to continue my own practice, but also as a way for me to connect other people with their own spirituality so that they can experience it for themselves. Because I was that person that was very analytical, very logical. I was always trying to rationalize things. And so I did not have much of a spirituality growing up. I went to church, but I felt very disconnected from it. And so I guess there was even a part of me that questioned that there was a spirit. So when I started doing psychic development and people, we would exchange readings, that really changed my perspective because people were sharing things with me that they could not have known. And so I really do this to share with people and reconnect them with their own spirituality. So hi, Denise from Delaware. Thanks so much for joining. Thank you for being here. So the way that these live streams work is I will let people drop an emoji and I'll walk you through that process. But I have people drop me an emoji as they think about who it is that they want to connect with. And then I just choose whatever emoji I'm drawn to and read that person to see what information wants to come through psychically, who wants to be acknowledged through mediumship, and go through the reading that way. The way that I give readings is the way that I receive messages is I see images and symbols in my mind's eye. And sometimes it looks like a motion picture. And so I'll just describe what I'm seeing. I also hear, so sometimes I hear words, songs, music, cadence of or pitch of people's voices. Um, depending on the spirit that comes through and how their energy is. Sometimes they just tell me what to tell you, and that makes it really easy. I also feel it throughout my body. So if I feel sensations in certain parts of my body, certain parts of your body connect with your mental, emotional well-being. So if I feel something in a certain part of my body, it informs me of what you are going through, which is definitely a part of readings when I do them. And then when energy really starts to flow, I start to get thoughts in my head as if they're my own. And because there is a level of interpretation when I do readings, if I am delivering the message that spirit wants to be delivered, then I start to feel tingles throughout my body too. So I call it my spidey sense. And that's how readings go for me. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. And usually I have my partner, Ira, supporting me from behind the scenes. She's the one who manages the comments, throws them up on the screen. She's the one who is kind of helping me, letting me know if there's something I need to pay attention to. And so today, one of my newer team members, Alessa, is here. Hi, Haley. Thanks so much for joining. So there you go. All right. So Haley, I guess I will start with you. Okay. Okay, I do see an older gentleman on what looks like is mom's side of the family. And I look off to the side. I might even close my eyes. I might even whisper to myself. It doesn't mean anything. I don't see anything. When I look off to the side or close my eyes, it's me just trying to concentrate on what I'm getting clairvoyantly. And then when I whisper to myself, it's or talk to myself, it's me talking to them. Um, okay, so I do see an older gentleman on mom's side of the family, and I feel like um, he's in grandpa position. Are you grandpa? Um, tell it to me again. Okay, yes, he nods his head and says he's grandpa. I'm going to describe him. Um, he is a very petite. He's just like a small, skinny man, older. He has very white hair. He's bald, but he has the hair on the sides, and the hair on the sides are like completely white. When I see him wearing a white polo shirt, and it's very clean. It's like there's an episode of Friends where Ross gets teeth whitening, and his teeth are so white they are blue or glow in the dark. And his shirt is so clean and white. It's immaculate. It's like it's almost glowing or blue. He also draws my attention to the logo, which is very distinctly a Ralph Lauren polo logo. So it feels like that's something that's important to him. But then he's like wearing it with kind of baggy pants. Um, it's hard to tell what the material is. I almost feels like they're sweatpants, but they're not sweatpants, and they're not so baggy that I get this feeling that he feels very dressed up when he wears this polo shirt. Um, and he gives me like he's like pointing the sign to tell me that that's what he means. That's what he wants me to share. And so when I see him, I feel very distinctly that I need to point out the environment that I see him in, because he's walking and it looks like concrete and like very concrete gray houses, but it also looks very lush, like there are a lot of trees. Where he's walking, it feels like an alley, which is interesting because there are lots of trees in this very what could be feeling cold and narrow concrete alley. And he laughs a lot. So I see him laughing, and it gives me this feeling that he has this very um, jovial, humorous personality. He comes off as very happy. When I see him, I feel like he's the kind of person that really keeps to himself. It's almost like that silent wisdom, like you can say so much without saying anything at all. And I get this energy of him being very observant, because I see him and it's like he's walking through this concrete alley, and he's kind of like bending over, peering over people doing different things. Like I see people playing checkers, and I see kids playing, and I see different groups of people, and he's walking through. He has his hands behind his back, and he's just like observing, looking, walking through. Um, what else do you want to show me? So now he shows me, I feel like this her? Okay, so he shows me him with you, and it feels like you when you are a child. Um, I see very dark black, straight hair, like straight bangs, and like a half ponytail with like straight bangs. Um, but I also see you in this very, like, I would call it like a Sunday best dress. And he feels small and petite. Um, and you also feel small, but standing next to him as his child, you're like more than half his size. But it feels like there's so much pride in you. And I feel like he actually put on this nice shirt because he knew he was going to be with you and you were going to be dressed up. And it's like he wanted to be very dressed up to in your presence. Like he wanted to match your vibe. Okay. Um, I'm not sure what this means, but he's just like something that he points out is like he's bending over with this child version of you and he's joking and he's like it's like he's picking his nose, but he's not picking his nose. So he's like going like that and he's like laughing and like pointing out in a direction. And I feel like he's showing me him like him holding you, and it goes from you being this child to him like swooping you up in his arms and then cradling you as if you turn into a baby. And this is my symbol that they were a big part of like they were a big part of raising you. So it feels like he's you were his baby and that he helped raise you. That's a symbol. Um, so he's also showing me a green dragon. What does this green dragon mean? And in particular, I feel like I need to point out that kind of the shape of this dragon, how the body is curled, it's almost like it's making a figure eight, which I know is very auspicious. Um, but I feel like there's a family tie to this green dragon, whether it be like a symbol on like a family crest or that there's like special meaning to your ancestral line with this green dragon, and especially with the figure eight and kind of like the infinity symbol. Hmm. So when he shows me how he is present in your life now, how he supports you from the other side. He shows me him being very affectionate with you, like he's embracing you and that he's showing you love. And when he does it, I feel it raise your vibration because I show that you're receptive to it and that you're reacting to it and it makes you really happy. And so it feels like he does it to raise your vibration. When he shows me what you're going through in life right now, I feel like there's a lot of frustration because he um it feels like frustration and then also almost like mood swings because he shows me it's like you're expressing the stress and the frustration, covering your eyes, and you like move your hands, and you're just like there's a lot of movement that feels like there's a lot of chaos almost, um, and that you're switching from like trying to hold it together and put on a happy face, but then also feeling this deep frustration and stress inside. And when he shows me how he's supporting you from the other side, it feels like when you feel this turbulence in your energy, that he's really trying to like smooth it out and bring stability, which is why he's raising your vibration and doing that kind of thing. But it also, um, it's kind of like when you pet someone and you diffuse their energy is what he's showing me. It's when you're going through those moments of stress and frustration that he's like moving. This is exactly how I see it, is I see a hand moving over you, and like your energy, if you were to look at a heart rate monitor, it's just like this, but then he goes like this and he smooths it out to calm it down. um he is giving me this sense that you do notice, that you do know he's around you, and that you've you even called it out, because I hear and see like you saying, oh yeah, it's my grandpa, I know my grandpa's with me. And it comes not from, when I usually see people acknowledging a spirit around them, I see them see, it's like I see your avatar seeing the spirit that's communicating with me. And that's not what I see. I feel like it's something that's felt deep within with you. So I was just seeing, what was it that he was passionate about? And it feels like, so what he's showing me, I feel like it was a form of discipline and structure through martial arts. In specific, I see him, it looks like fencing, but I don't feel like it's actually fencing because I don't see like the fencing uniform. But what I see is him standing with his hand with like an arm behind his back, and then it's like he is sparring with someone using just one arm, and it almost feels like it's combat with a weapon or like a tool. And I also feel like something else that he was passionate about, he shows me animals. I see him being very loving and nurturing with an animal, but it also feels like livestock, because I don't see, I can't see the animal clearly, so I can't tell if this is like a pet or if it's livestock, like if he lived on a farm and he was raising animals. But I get this feeling that that he raised these animals and that there was so much love in them. But I feel like it's livestock because I also get this feeling that um, because of the care and intention that went into raising these animals, that they served their purpose well. Like they had a very their contribution to the world was like very valuable. And I'll just say something that I'm feeling is like it was very juicy and delicious. And that's it. He gives me the signal that that's it. So please share in the comments how this may have resonated with you, because it helps other people feel more comfortable engaging in these kind of experiences too. So I'm going to take a quick look at the comments. So hi, Anne. Hi, Nadia. Hey, Nadia. Long time no see. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so I'm just going to go through in order and see how many we can get through. So Denise, drop me a comment so I know that you're still around, and I'd be happy to share a reading with you. I'm just going to disconnect from Haley's energy. Okay. So Denise, I see a dark woman on dad's side of the family, and she looks like she could be in her 50s or 60s, and I see her with a like an updo, like her hair looks like it's done up, and I also noticed that she has like a very round, almost like chubby face, but not chubby like she's heavy set, but she just has chubby cheeks. She's a like a tall, full-figured woman, but her cheeks are very chubby, and that sticks out. I also noticed that she has very large, full lips, and they're very red. And everything that she's wearing is actually red. So it feels like red is a big theme, like a big color with her. Is this your favorite color? excuse me. It's not her favorite color, but she's saying that it's a color that would resonate with you. Let's see here. Okay, so the more I talk and describe her, I'm starting to see a lot more details. So with her hair, I said that it looks like it's an updo, but it's like she just has a lot of hair and it's put up. So it's not like she has prom hair or wedding hair or anything. It's just that she has her hair up, and it looks like she has braids, and she has like this honey caramel blonde hair woven through her braids. And you also get like what I see her wearing. It's like she's wearing a red two-piece skirt suit. It's like a power skirt suit. And I feel like she's a woman that's really put together and really cares about her appearance, and takes care of herself too, because she has like this really nice outfit on. She has really great skin. She looks wonderful for like 50 or 60, but also it feels very intentional that she has makeup on too, that she has lipstick. Let's see here. She says that she's an auntie on dad's side. I already knew that. You already told me this. She shows me a boy and she says that she had a son, and she's showing me this boy he could be like 8 or 9 years old, and she says that he's still living. Let's see here. When I ask her how she passed, she says the word tragedy, and she doesn't want to talk about it. And she says, she gives me the impression that she did pass while the son was still young. So she did leave behind this child. Can you show me again how you passed? So it feels like it was an accident, but specifically what she gives me is like it felt like she went over, like over the deep end. Um, when I feel into like what her personality was like, she also feels a very like jovial, but she says that she's the life of the party. And when I see her, she's very expressive, she's very social, like she's very outgoing. Um, and I just see that she's like very engaging. It's like I see this room full of people and she's just bouncing from one person to the next, just talking to them, connecting with them. And like she has this great presence to her that everyone wants to talk to her and engage with her too. And then she shows me, I feel like she smokes cigarettes. If you want to drop in the chat and just like let me know if this is ringing a bell of who it is, because she shows me she's like partying, having fun, and then she like lights up a cigarette, so I feel like she's a smoker. um I feel like she was close in I feel like she was close in age to you, or at least there was like a close relationship, because when I ask what was your relationship like when she was living, it's like I see you and her, and it's almost like you're sisters. Um, and the way that she shows me this is it's like I see two women just like laughing, having fun together at this party. But I also, something she shows me is like, it feels like she liked to have a lot of fun. And then for you, um, she, like for you, you had a boundary, and it's like there's a time and place for everything. And so she's laughing, she's having fun, and it almost feels like she goes overboard with that. But then you're like, no, like it comes to an end at some point, and then we go back to our responsibilities. Like having fun is a break from all the other things that we do, is what it feels like. Because when she shows me this interaction between you two, it's like you're having fun, then you're like, okay, now I gotta go because like I got things to do. Um, and it's almost like throughout this message, as she's showing me herself and like how she's progressing, through all the things that she's explaining to me or she's sharing with me, it's like she gets more and more kind of like inebriated and just like intoxicated with the fun, is what it feels like. And she's telling me that like um, she learned her lesson, like she realized that it's all about balance. And it feels like, I actually get this feeling from her that the way that she supports you from the other side is that she shows me her behind you, and it's like she's massaging your shoulders, but like mostly trying to get you to stick your like arc your back so that your chest sticks out. And it feels like she's trying to make you more flexible so that you can lean into more fun. And it almost feels like you had your own balance, your own defined balance of work and play. And what she's doing is she's trying to bring more play into your life. And when I see this interaction between her and you, she laughs a lot. And her laugh is very loud, and her laugh is like infectious. And it's almost like her laugh is a spell, because she's like playing with your back, massaging, but also making you contort. And it's like the sound waves from her laugh penetrate you. And then it's like there is no actual laugh that you're hearing. Let's just call it the energetic ghost laugh. But her laugh penetrates to your energy, and it's like it snaps you. And then you instantly realize that she's with you. So it does feel like you're very aware of her presence. And it also feels like it works against itself, because it's like you remember her personality and how she would always have fun. And then it's almost like you are hard on yourself when you find yourself having fun, because it's like, I don't want to be like her. I don't want to repeat the mistakes that she did. But it almost feels like what she's trying to share with you is that you are safe to do it, because she learned her lesson and she won't let you um, fall into that pattern that she did. So permission granted, it feels like, to have fun. Okay, let's see here. When she shows me you and kind of what you're going through right now in your life, it feels like very like stoic, very staunch, very serious. But it feels like it comes from a place of trying to just be safe. Like it comes from survival, what she's showing me about you. And it feels like playing it safe, but like being overly cautious in how you play safe, because it feels like you are okay, so something that she's showing me is it looks like you are working, and I don't know if this is actually your job, but it's getting the story to me. So she shows me you, and it's like you're serving customers and you're working like in some sort of service industry, and you're doing this very easy job, albeit stable, when there's something else, um, like the passion that you have, the fire in your heart is to do something else, would be very unstable. And part of the reason why you don't go after it is because it's because of her, because of how she lived her life and what her experience was like. And so it's just like constantly over correcting on what she did. And it feels like it's time for you to go after it. Um, know that regardless of what I share, what they say, that it's still up to you, that even if they say it's time to go after it, like you still have to go after it. Like you have to decide for yourself that that's something that you want to pursue. And I feel like the way that you do it is to simply see it as a game, that you can still have the stable job, but to approach the one that you want, the one that you're passionate about, to approach it as a game, like gamify it. It feels like that's her recommendation. And I feel like you're a very cunning player. So that seems like that's what could be really helpful for you. Okay. The last thing I'm seeing is a crocodile. Okay, why the crocodile? Okay, so it feels like you have some sort of connection with like the South where there are a lot of crocodiles. And I feel like it's calling to New Orleans. And why crocodiles? In my culture, crocodiles are an auspicious symbol. So I feel like this calling to New Orleans or to crocodile country or gator country, um, could be a very like fortune filled calling. Again, that's totally up to you on whether you feel like that is something you should take action on. But it feels like calling you back down to this southern area of the United States, where it's very swampy, humid, and there tend to be a lot more crocodiles. And she also says that she's going to be visiting you in your dreams. I see her giving you a very tight embrace. So it feels like she's very close to you, but that to open yourself up to having her visit you in your dreams. And it feels like that's it. So thank you, Denise, for letting me read for you. Please share in the comments how that resonated so it could help someone else be more connected with their spirituality. Okay. I'm going to disconnect from your energy. Okay, let's see. All right, and if you're still around, please let me know. Drop me a comment. And Nadia, if you're still around, let me know. Because if I have time, I'll read for you after Anne. So if you guys are joining, let me just share a little bit about myself. I started psychic development in 2019. I did not grow up with any paranormal or supernatural experiences. And so I know that anyone could do this. Anyone can connect with spirit and have this experience and share it with other people the way that I'm doing it, or even do it for themselves. And so, if this is something that interests you, if I'm not able to get to you, you can always book a session with me. And my website is right there in the bottom right hand corner. But I also teach classes. I have a monthly class, and then I have some virtual programs if that is something of interest to you to be able to do it for yourself. Okay, awesome. So I don't know that Anne is here, but I'm going to go ahead and read um, for Nadia. Okay. Okay, Nadia, I am seeing an older gentleman on dad's side, and he's a very heavy set fellow, and he has like very gray white hair. He's bald on top. He has the hair on the side though, but the hair it looks long, and he has a lot of facial hair. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is Nadia, uh, the one with the red, with the red. Yeah, there you go. So he has a gray beard, like a very salt and peppery beard, but more on the white and gray side. And it looks like it almost just blends in with his hair. He looks like a heavier set fellow. Uh, I get like Galileo vibes because of all of the hair, because of how like husky of a build he is, but he's not husky like a giant like ex football player. He just feels like a bigger gentleman. Um, the way I see him, it's like a cross between someone wearing a work uniform, like if they were an engineer, worked in maintenance, where it's kind of like that the navy blue work pants and then the work shirt. But it doesn't have the patch. So I feel like it's not actually working for him, but this is how he dresses and this is his style. He actually feels like more like an intellect. I, I almost feel like he's into sciences, maybe an engineer. But when I see him, it reminds me of seeing, I'm thinking of seeing like professors at Caltech, which is a really great engineering school and sciences school. Um, I just keep getting this feeling like he's this very smart, sciencey person. Big Bang Theory. That's the reason why I'm saying Caltech. It reminds me of like how even though someone can be highly intelligent, that they can still be um, not put together. I don't know if that's the right word. That's not the right word. It's not put. Sometimes scientists are so into their work that their appearances are the last thing on their mind, is what I'm getting. Um, okay, so how are you related to her? I feel like he's grandpa. And he shows me you as a small child, and he's just like patting you on the head. So it feels like that's when you guys were more or less in the same lifetime. Kind of like Haley in the beginning, this grandpa is walking around with his arms behind his back. Like he's very to himself, keeps in his space, but he's also like, it feels like when he interacts with people, it's like he's dipping his toe into interacting with them, but still very much keeping his boundary and his distance. I feel like he is also a very social person because when I see him, it's like I I can't remember, Nadia. I know that you are, I think you're like part Jewish. I don't know if you're full Jewish, but I feel like what I'm seeing is him at synagogue or some gathering of people, and it's like he's just having this very lively discourse with people. And I definitely have that cadence of like an older Jewish man just like talking and laughing and socializing with his friends, but also having a very like a lively debate, like a lively spiritual debate with people, or even philosophical. I get this feeling that he really loved to snack on fruit, um, because I see him. It's like he's stuffing his face with fruit, and then every time he brings one up to his face, it's a different fruit. So I feel like there's so many different fruits that he liked to eat, and it's almost like you know, he gives me this feeling that he could often be found while he's walking around, talking, lecturing, that he has a piece of fruit that he's eating while he's doing it. And it also feels like um, he was very playful, or he was very playful with, because I see what he's showing me is he's with kids, and specific, they're like bouncing a ball and that he's kind of playing with them. So it feels like he is um, the involved type. I feel like I need to mention that um, that it's like some grandparents are very hands off, and some grandparents are very involved. And he feels like the kind of grandparent that is actually involved with the kids, instead of, the very brief, like, oh, hey, what's new? What are you doing? Okay, bye, go play. It's like, no, he cared about the people in his life, and it was about having authentic relationships and connection with them. And that's what he wants me to highlight, that he was about having connection, like a real connection. So, Nadia, when he shows me you and what you're going through in life, I see a giddiness in you. I see like this coy smile, like you have a surprise or a secret that you're hiding that really excites you, but you're not quite ready to share it with everyone. And it almost feels like when I see him with you, it's almost like this is a secret that you two share. So it feels like something he's definitely had a part of, and that he's like helping it come to fruition. It feels like you It feels like, okay, so the image that he gives me is a butterfly. It's like there's a butterfly in your hand. I see you, you're laughing, you're so coy, and then you're opening up your hand, and this beautiful glowing light butterfly is comes out of your hand and is ready to be released. But what I feel the most is that you will know exactly when it's time to share it, and that is like that's your decision. So I know Nadia. So I want people to know that I'm not that amazing, but I know Nadia. And something they're showing me is it's like you break out with this giant book and you're opening it up. So what this secret or butterfly that you're birthing, transforming, and setting out to the world, it feels like it's part of a larger body of work or research that you've been working on. And I mentioned that I know Nadia because I know Nadia is like a researcher and has been doing lots of research, and that's pretty much what she studied in school, or that's along the lines of something she studied in school. But it feels like it's related to that. I feel like you've it feels like you found new perspective on the work that you did, and that the birthing of it is really putting into the context of this new perspective. I'm very interested to know what it is that you're doing. So when you're ready, email me, let me know. Oof. Okay. So something that grandpa, I'm just going to call him grandpa, something grandpa shows me is um it looks like it looks like a baptism, honestly, because it's like you're fully clothed actually. You're wearing white and it looks like you're going into a river. Um I don't see an actual baptism scene, but I see you coming out of it. But it feels good. Like it doesn't feel like something that was forced upon you. It feels like this is something of your choosing and that you're simply emerging from this rebirth. And this feels like it is something that is totally accepted because the scene that I see is that you're emerging from the water and you it's like you're holding your partner's hand, that your partner's there to stand by your side as you share this part of you with the people in your life, and that it's like your family is there as the audience and there's just total acceptance. Let's see here. I'm feeling like that is the end there, that's complete because it's like you are taking a bow with your partner in front of your family and your friends. And grandpa says that's it. So thank you, Nadia, for letting me read for you. Just going to disconnect from your energy. Okay. I am going to do a group read. So if I wasn't able to get to you today, join me next month. Join my mailing list so you know when these are going to happen. And so you can get the reminder that it's going to happen. And then join me next month. I'm here every third Thursday. Join my Mighty Networks group, the Embodied Gathering. It's a free community that I'm going to be more active in. So if you guys follow me on social media, my team is really going to be managing that. And then I'll be the most engaged with anyone that's in the Embodied Gathering. So let's see here. What I'm using is the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. And the way I like to use this deck is I like to ask the question, there are lots of questions I like to ask the deck, but the question that comes to mind the most is who do we need to give ourselves more credit for? And I love this card, and I'll explain who this woman is. Pope Joan. So the story of Pope Joan is that she was this like wealthy aristocrat noblewoman, and she infiltrated the Catholic Church and she posed as a man, and she was doing it to be close to her lover. And she initially joined to like pretend to be a priest so that she could be close to her lover. But she rose to the top of the church hierarchy and became a pope. And her story is about not having any limitations. My coworker today said that she got tired of having to break the glass ceiling every time she wanted a promotion or anytime at work, really. And so Pope Joan is really this figure that was like, what glass ceiling? And just rose to the top. Now, her story ends in that she was discovered as a woman because as she was making a very popular, very sacred procession as Pope, that she began to give birth to her child. And so a couple of stories about how Pope Joan's story ended. And the first one is that they killed her on the spot, where she gave birth. And then another story goes that they excommunicated her, that her son later became a priest and became a cardinal or bishop. and that he dedicated his church to his mother, and she was buried there. So whatever story you go with, she is a symbol of not limiting yourself, not being your own limiting belief, of always pushing the envelope, of going after what it is that you want, but really being rooted in love as you do it. And I'm also getting that with Pope Joan, it's about feeling so much conviction and passion for what it is that you go after. And I feel like that's really being highlighted because in a world where, spiritual bypassing, that gaslighting is a thing, where we're like, love and light, I only want high fives, whatever. It could be hard to discern what you're truly energetically and emotionally invested in, and really ready to be committed to until the end, in the long run. Because if you love everything, how do you choose? And really, that's a conversation and an experience that you have with yourself, because it simply takes getting to know, becoming intimate, and getting acquainted with it in order to tell that that's something that you truly want. And this feels particularly important because this is a conversation that I've been having with people in my life, with my team, as we plan out the content that we're going to be sharing for June. Because so many people, we all spend our lives being told what to do, when to do, and how to do it, that it gets hard to discern for yourself what is truly you and what's been conditioned to you. So be Pope Joan and just go for it. No, there are no limits. There is no ceiling. Go after the thing that you love so dearly and feel so intensely for. And join me next month, and join me in the Embodied Gathering. So thanks everyone for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Goodbye.